for reconciliation in the Labour Party. Good afternoon, Dr. Tanko. Good to have you on Newsday.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me, Cynthia.
Of course, we're delighted to have you. So let's just begin with the basics. Based on what played out in this situation, what are your plans towards reconciliation within the party?
Well, ab initio, we have always been saying that the Labour Party constitution is very clear. You don't go into water if you don't know how to swim. Definitely you will drown. In this case, some of the people who have been raising this particular unwarranted attack on the chairman of the Labour Party were doing it out of ignorance, because majority of them are not well abreast with the constitution of the party, which of course now that the court have already been able to establish it based on Article 13 and 17. Now, going forward, what the party intends to do is actually mobilize to kind of redefine the existence of the Labour Party by unifying, re-registering, and more or less unifying the party in such a way that there will be a large registered members of the party. And, don't forget, basically on almost in every show, I've always been saying that the Labour Party, under the leadership of Julius Abure, have also institutionalized a reconciliation committee to look at those who have always have issues within the party that they can easily align with this particular reconciliation committee. And that reconciliation committee has met with almost everybody who feels aggrieved, so that we can move forward as a team. And the party is preparing for its national convention. And within that particular period, there will be a kind of registration and re-registration and affirmation of members within the party, so that every chapter, every looks and cranny of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is being covered by the Labour Party. That way will give us a more unified house in order to fight the battle ahead of us.
All right, then. So let's talk about, the reaction of the Lamidi Apapa, let's say, faction of the party that is kicking against this particular confirmation or affirmation of the judgment. They said that the Benin court only, the statement signed by the spokesman of the LP faction, Abayomi Arabambi, says that he's insisting that the Abuja High Court's restraining order that recognized Apapa as the acting national chairman still remains intact. How would you react to this?
Well, probably he's not also aware that that particular case has also been taken to court, and then it has been kept in abeyance until there's judgment at the appeal court. And that appeal court will sit in no distant time. Let me make this clear. Right from the beginning, the accusation of either forgery or no forgery, which the Arabambi acclaimed group are standing on, they have no only local standing, because they themselves don't even have a local standing, even in taking the matter to court in the first place. So there is nothing like anything like, what would they call it, when you said that there was signature forgery. There's nothing like that, because the forensic report that God knows where they say they got it from, we've been able to get the actual forensic report, which has already nullified all of this particular accusation against Julius Abure and Malam Umar Farouk and all the other persons that have been mentioned. And from here on, it is very clear that the sources of those who have financed them in order to cause problem within the party will dry up very soon, because it is clear the party is a law-abiding political party. We are following the rules of laws one by one and gradually. You could see the way it painstaking the process in which we've taken to get to this particular level. And that is how that particular issue too will be dealt with accordingly. Because as we speak today, this appeal court on that matter is yet to sit. But we have also been able to do all that is necessary to ensure that Abure and the led National Working Committee have proved themselves not guilty beyond reasonable doubt. But let me also thank the obedient movement at this point, where the chairman has also thanked them that for standing firm with the leadership of the party, giving it the belief that, yes, these are the people who had midwife us from almost nothing to something. We've also said that under this particular leadership, we've had 8 senators. We have 38 or 34 member House of Representatives. We are having 65 members of State Assembly under the leadership of Julius Abure. That is where we are at the moment, and they are still counting. And so for any leaders who have been able to achieve this particular feat, should be given a lot of respect and probably gratitude for doing the yeoman's job. So those who feel that they are aggrieved, the political party is still open for them to come in. And of course, it's a disciplined political party. So you should come in and apologize for the mistakes that they've made, and then we would know how to deal with their issues according to the constitution of the party. But if they stay on the other side, remember, they only have Peter, Gregory Obi, and Deti Baba Amen to give gratitude to, because if this particular individual have not been into the party, I wonder where they will have been. I wonder where the party will have won, whether it would have been able to win all of these particular seats that I just mentioned. So for us, it's moving forward. No retreat, no surrender. We keep on moving until we emancipate the Nigerian people from the shackle of poverty and getting Nigeria on the right path. We believe that a new Nigeria is possible under PO and Abure.
Duly noted, Dr. Tanko. Now, if I take an excerpt from the press release that was issued by your party, it did say that the outcome of this case has been a landmark judgment and will stand the test of time. I'm just wondering, in the event that a similar factional issue should arise in the near future or distant future, would you apply the same methods that were used to address this in such a case, should it ever reoccur? Definitely not, because we have learned a lesson from within and outside. We know now that this particular group of our brothers are being sponsored to cause problem within the party, and then they have failed in that particular regard. Those who institute this particular humongous attack on the Labour Party have also failed, because it has made us more stronger. We've learned, and we are going to take care of every individual in case there are issues of this nature, which of course we expect that will even rear his head, because at that time we will have been able to sift out those who know they are genuinely interested in building a political party that is interested in the masses-driven political party. Because hey, every one of us know that this country needs a purposeful political party that is clear and purposeful and has a direction. And that we believe that the Labour Party will present to the Nigerian people. And so we are going to continue in that particular regard to ensure that the Nigerian people have a particular political party they can rest their head and say they can go to sleep and feel that they are being secured. So for those of them who have fallen within the line, we pray to them that they will be able to learn their mistakes and then come in, and then we'll move together as a political party.
All right, then, Dr. Tanko, I'd like to, divert our attention to the reason why Mr. Abure was even suspended in the first place. Now, the alleged activities, what was put out there was that he was suspended indefinitely by the Edo Labour Party ward for various offences such as forgery and perjury. And of course, they said they forged withdrawal letters and sworn court affidavits. There was a lot of allegations that were supposed to be investigated by members of the party. So is this something that is still on the table, trying to find out exactly why this, I'll say, brouhaha even started in the first place? Is there any investigation being done into the activities that he was accused for, which had led to his suspension in the first place?
Let me share knowledge with you. Right from the beginning, the purported suspension does not have a local standing. Based on the Article 13 and 17 of the party, it says clearly that if you are to suspend or investigate the national chairman, it is not within the purview of the local government. It is in the national level. When you raise a petition against any leading member of the party, then there will be investigation within the party itself at the national level. And it can only be actualized at the national convention purposefully called for that particular issue that have been raised. So in this case, if there have been petitions, which I have not seen any, nobody has written to the National Working Committee, written message that so XO person have committed particular crime. If there is any document to that particular national committee, they should show me. I have not seen. So therefore, it is at that particular National Working Committee that they will deliberate on the matter. But they will just bring into like a horse into the public domain in order to create a problem. So they shot themselves in the foot because they took the wrong channel. And then somebody will come now tomorrow and say, yes, they're written. If you wrote to the National Working Committee, how many members have the particular copy of that particular petition? There was none. Because those that will have received that particular committee petition will have been the National Secretary of the party, which is Malon Umar Farouk, and then the other organizing secretary and all other members. And I don't think they had a copy. But here is in the reverse case. The same people who are accusing the chairman have so many petitions written against them. For example, Anselm, Arabambi, and all other people have a written document of petition written against them, which the National Committee has dealt with according to the provision of the Constitution. And they have found them wanting, and they have already been suspended. One of them already been expelled of the party, but others have been suspended. In fact, there is a committee already standing, waiting for these cases to be off. When the cases are up, this particular committee will now deal with the matter according to what has been provided. So if we have an issue within the party, it is left for the party now to look at it because we have internal mechanism to checkmate anybody. There is nobody in the party that is above the law. So if you have found one thing, you'll be dealt with within the provision of the law of the party. So the mistake that they did was that because they were not interested in building a party, they were interested in creating a commotion within the party. They created an issue and then they balkanized the office, come in and criminally entered into the office without the consent of the leadership of the party. In fact, if not because of it, they should have been arrested for actually bugging the office, stealing some document within the party, and then using it to institute a case which is not founded. So therefore, in this case, they have already been involved in a criminal activity against the party itself. If not for the steadfastness and the consistency of the leading members of the party, they would have gotten away with it. And that would have been a coup against democratic tenets, and which we do not accept. So invariably, all of the party members and leaders have come to agree that these particular individuals are not interested in the building of a political party. So, i.e., there is nothing like issue of forgery against Julius Abure. There's nothing like probably him conducting any unconstitutionality within the position of the law, which we have been able to prove within this particular appeal, and we will prove it in the next appeal court that will come in probably in no distant time.
Well, we wish you well. Spokesman of the defunct Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, Dr. Julius, thank you for joining us here on Newsday. It's been a